Good morning. So yeah, we're getting our Turbo Max hooked up. Like I said a few videos ago, we are going to spread some wheat and turbo till it in. So that's what we're getting ready to do this morning. I don't know if we're going to get that done today, but BJ and I are getting this hooked up. Dad, he went after his feeder house drum and bearings. So while he's doing that, we're going to get this hooked up. And then when he gets back, I assume it'll be all hands on deck, throwing that bearing in so we can get both combines going. It is supposed to rain this evening, so want to harvest some beans and plant some wheat before that rain. Busy morning. Now this does need serviced. There's grease fittings on the gangs. There's 2 on each gang. There's 4 gangs on each wing, so we got some fittings there. We got some fittings on our baskets and our spikes. Kayla and the baby are here. They're stealing my rock sore. Decorating for the big camp out. Gotta find them a stepladder. The honeydew jobs never end. Big Mama, you excited for your birthday?
Yeah.
How old are you gonna be?
We're not talking about it.
Oh yeah.
I'll be 30.
You aging rough, kid.
Yeah.
Hey, Livy. Livy, what is that?
Mama.
Meow meow.
It's meow meow. Yeah, bye guys. Have fun.
Bye.
Extra protein. Hey BJ, I found your lunch.
Hungry.
Yep, there's our new parts. I put them in. BJ was greasing this thing and noticed we've got an issue with the Turbo Max, so we are not going to put that wheat in the ground with it today. He was walking around greasing all the gangs and realized that we got an issue. This gang is loose, so we're gonna have to pull this off here. We could just tighten it up, but there's some reason that this is loose, so we need to pull that off and check it and make sure our bearings are good. And it's supposed to rain tonight, so I guess we got a rain day job. Saved a tire. So Dad is trying to press out the bearing basically off of that arm. If you reuse these arms in the new feeder house, the old bearing is in the part that he's pressing out. We got to put a new bearing in that, but it doesn't look like that bearing's even bad. Since we got a part, we're going to replace them. But it looks like this shaft and these wells just came loose on this drum, and that was the problem. The bearing is actually still okay, I think. But like I said, he's going to pull them out while he's got the feeder house drum part, and we'll have new bearings and a new feeder house drum. Hey BJ, you want to make a lamp out of that? We'll put it in a crate and it'll say fragile.
Italian.
Well folks, we've changed plans at least 4 times this morning, maybe 5. See that snap ring? Me and BJ are taking the my combine and the grain cart over. Larry's following us in a pickup. Somebody's going after this snap ring and hopefully some lunch. And hopefully we can start combining. Alright, we got a combine over here. Those are the beans we're doing today. Just getting started. Our concave's calibrating. Open our bin extensions. Do that with a push of a button. There they go. Klaus has had that for years. Dad's combine is still not back together. Larry went after some snap rings for it. That's the only thing Dad needs to put it back together. We may have to stop to help him throw that feeder house drum in, unless it looks like it's about to rain. But right now, Dad's talking to his cousin from out of state. Cousin Steve stopped in. Don't get to see Cousin Steve very often, so he's reminiscing about the good old days, waiting on parts. Huh! There goes a Challenger with a patriotic grain cart. And there goes a Case combine with a folding cat corn head. Interesting stuff. Yep, we're not loggers, we're farmers, so we can't take that. I like the trees until it comes time to plant or harvest around them. So when I get up here back to the bins, Dad and I are going to try to either adjust this header or I'm going to hook to his, because you see that? We are leaving probably a bushel on the ground per acre at the moment. My head is not flexing, the tension is off, and my wings are pointed up instead they should be kind of draped down when the head is picked up, and they're not. So they need an adjustment. That is for sure, especially in this field. This field has a lot of dips and rolls, and yeah, it's driving me crazy. I don't like it. I don't like leaving beans. We paid for them, we grew them, I want to harvest them. Let's find out what the plan is. I don't know why. It'll probably change before we get back in the combine. Larry went and picked us up lunch though, so we're at least going to be well fed. Now you see how that head is doing this number? It should be kind of frowning, not smiling at you. Right now, that side of the head is just not flexing, which is causing stuff like this to happen. So it's definitely leaving pods. Like I say, this field has a lot of former roads and stuff like that through it. There's a railroad bed right there, so I really need a head that's gonna flex. Now, McDonald's don't have a flexible cutter bar, but they do have flexible wings. So they do a pretty good job for the most part, but we gotta make some adjustments. Good to see I didn't combine squishy. So the plan is I'm switching for Dad's Draper head. I didn't realize it, but he's gonna go do some spraying before it rains. I don't think we're gonna have time to get his combine back together before this rain gets here. So he's got some spray he's gonna do anyways. So he's gonna go spray, and I'm gonna use his head, and I'm gonna try to do this field. We got 65 acres right here. This thing's so far out of adjustment, can't even get it to lock anymore. This head is doing much better job. Definitely flexing and floating better. The other head just wasn't floating or flexing, so this one seems to be doing much better. Back to green flag racing. No thank you. We don't want it. Get out of there. Go on now, get. That one would have left a mark. That was a big rock. Unfortunately, this field has a lot of those. So, gotta be careful. Having a head that is actually flexing instead of being completely rigid is definitely gonna help in not picking up rocks. Just something to keep an eye on. Not looking good. Looks like we got a front rolling in. Guess Dad was right. He probably wasn't going to get his combine up and going, unfortunately, before the storm gets here. So I doubt I get this whole thing finished. 20 acres in. Like I said, there's 60, 65 acres in this field. Basically opened up half of it. We'll do what we can, and when it rains, we'll stop. And we'll fix stuff. Fun times. This field that we're doing here, I said in a previous video that this place used to be a naval munition plant in World War II. That's what those buildings over there are. Kayla and I bought the farm fields in 2014, and when we got this field, I think this was 4 or 5 fields. We tore some fences out, cleaned out a couple tree lines. Now we got one 65 acre field. But where we're at now, at one point, used to be a parking lot. So there's a lot of gravel in it, a lot of rocks. Run the head up a little bit. Yeah, we lose a little bit of beans. Maybe don't get them all, but we also don't get any rocks. And it's not something we can pick up. I mean, we could, but it'd be an endless battle. And anytime we run a Turbo Max or anything like that over, they just flop back up. So lots and lots of rocks to this part of the field. It's only a couple acres. The rest of it, not as bad. Man, with one combine and this far of a drive, I sure hope Larry will be able to keep up. I hope we're not overtaxing him. I got faith in him. You can kind of see a line right here. There used to be a fence that went the whole length of this field. We tore it out to make the field bigger. Whatever they used to spray that fence with, nothing grows there. That fence hasn't been there in 6 years, and no one's probably sprayed it in 10. There's that old fence line after we turned around. You can clearly still see where it was. And it made a corner up here and then ran that way. So when we get up there, you'll probably be able to see where it turned the corner there. And you can't see it because of this grain cart. Got another hitchhiker. This one also would have done some damage. Wonder if we can just take out that electric pole. These close combines are fairly tough, so maybe. Well, we were going along pretty good and we started dragging up, so I need to get out and see what's going on. I don't know if we've got a broke section or maybe one of the skids is starting to drag. Just grab her out. Side note, temperature's dropping quite a bit. And that would be the issue. Direction.
You ever see that?
Alright, got that section repaired. Now we're back to it. Larry must have just got bored and going for a drive. So far he's just been circling the grain bins all day. We might just finish this field. We are down to the last 3 or 4 acres. It is sprinkling, but it has sprinkled off and on for the last 25 acres. So maybe we'll make it. There goes the boss man. He did get his combine fixed. Somehow he managed to fix that feeder house drum by himself. He's very creative. Anyways, he got that thing fixed. I don't think he's gonna bring it over here just because there is a pending rainstorm. One thing we go back and forth on pretty often around here is, do we need 2 combines? Do we want to get rid of both combines and get one big combine? A new combine is something we would like to do in the next couple of years, and that's something we keep kicking around. And every time we have a breakdown, like yesterday, and one of the combines is still running, I don't know, it kind of pushes me more towards 2. I don't know. Dad just got his combine up and going, and in that time I've done like 120 acres. That's 120 acres we wouldn't have had done. So I don't know what the answer is. Yep, finishing her up in the rain. It's not raining hard yet, but we're definitely getting some sprinkles. All right, we got her done before it rained. We got our Agfinity map. See, we made 61 bushel. Not bad. Put the combine in the drive-through before the rain gets any worse. Windows are already dirty enough. I think I could run over that tractor. All right, where is my truck? Oh, what'd they do with my truck? Oh, there it is. Also, don't forget to thumbs up the video if you enjoyed the content. Subscribe to the channel. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook at Brian's Farm Videos, and we'll see you in the next one. Surprise!